Though the saltwater crocodile is a well-known and popular animal, the average person's knowledge of it doesn't extend beyond its aggressive nature and violent hunting tactic called the death roll. There is more to these large reptiles than that, however. They are highly intelligent creatures that have survived and thrived throughout the ages of our ancient and chaotic planet. Saltwater crocodiles belong in the kingdom Animalia in the phylum Chordata, which we humans also belong to. Chordata includes any animal with a notochord. Saltwater crocodiles share the class Reptilia with animals such as turtles, snakes, and lizards. They are part of the order Crocodillia, along with alligators, caimans, and gharials. Their family Crocodilliae includes all 12 species of crocodiles. The species name is Crocodilus porosus. Crocodilus means pebble worm for the crocodile's appearance, and porosus means full of calicites, referring to the crocodile's bumpy snout. In appearance, saltwater crocodiles can be rather intimidating. In length, males can grow anywhere from 13 to 17 feet, but have sometimes been up to 20 feet long and can weigh between 800 and 1,000 pounds. Females are much smaller as they grow between 8 and 10 feet and weigh around 220 pounds. The long, powerful tail is used for propelling the crocodile through the water, and the heavy, ridge-lined head is home to strong jaws that contain up to 68 conical teeth. Their eyes and nose are on top of their head, allowing the crocodile to see and breathe when submerged just below the surface. When submerged below the surface, crocodiles are often mistaken for floating logs. Crocodiles also have special flaps of skin that cover their nostrils and close the back of their throat to prevent them from drowning, especially when feeding underwater. Concerning coloration, saltwater crocodiles are dark with stripes along the lower sides of their body and dark bands around their tails. Juveniles are pale yellow and covered in dark stripes and spots. It is easy to mistake crocodiles and alligators since they look almost identical. One major way to tell them apart is to look at their jaws. The crocodile's upper and lower teeth are visible when the mouth is closed, whereas only the alligator's upper teeth are visible when its mouth is closed. Also, alligators have a U-shaped snout and crocodiles have a V-shaped snout. Saltwater crocodiles have a voracious appetite. They can eat just about anything that has the misfortune of being caught, though their diet consists largely of fish. As is often observed, the crocodile will wait patiently at the water's edge for a prey animal to come within grabbing reach, at which point it will explode out of the water and drag prey to its doom. This is where the famous death roll comes into play, as the crocodile either tries to drown its prey or tear off large chunks of it. Saltwater crocodiles can survive several months without eating. Their lethargic nature helps make this possible since they use very little energy. Strangely enough, crocodiles have been observed eating fruit. It is likely that they are trying to get the nutrients that they cannot obtain from eating meat. Saltwater crocodiles are relatively widespread. They can be found most commonly on the coasts of northern Australia, New Guinea, and Indonesia. They are also found in lesser numbers in eastern India, along the river mouths and shorelines of southeastern Asia and central Vietnam, Borneo, the Philippines, and the Solomon Islands. They have a worldwide population of about 200,000 to 300,000, with over 100,000 of those being in Australia. Surprisingly, crocodiles are known to migrate. They have been tracked making long-distance journeys, possibly to follow the annual migration of fish. They move between oceanic islands by riding along the ocean currents and have subsequently been found far out at sea. Salties begin breeding in the months between November and March. Courtship begins 4 to 6 weeks before the nesting period and continues through that time. Males are surprisingly tender in their courtship methods, which include gentle rubbing of the female's side with their snout, blowing bubbles at her, and making soft rumbling noises. A female crocodile will generally lay anywhere between 40 to 60 eggs. Typically, 80% of these will die during the 80-day incubation period, and only about 1% survive into maturity. Since breeding occurs in the wet season, Flooding will sometimes wipe out some of the eggs. When the mother hears her newly hatched offspring begin to chirp, she will dig into the nest and carry them in her jaws to the water. These hatchlings will stick close to their mother's side for the first few months of their lives. Usually the safest place for the baby crocs to be is right on top of their mother's head. There are many intriguing facts about the saltwater crocodile that make it even more of an extraordinary animal. A crocodile's gender is determined by the heat of the nests. An exact temperature of 31.6 degrees Celsius will result in a male. Any warmer or cooler will result in a female. Crocodiles and their relatives are the only reptiles that continue to care for their young after they've been hatched. The saltwater crocodile is the largest of the crocodilian species and of the world's reptiles. The largest captive salty, named Lolong, was 20.24 feet long. These crocodiles hold the record for the strongest bite force in the world. A 15-foot salty can exert a bite force of about 3,700 pounds. Imagine crushing a bone the way you would eat toast.
Break out the butter. We're gonna make toast.
Crocodiles have also inspired creatures in video games such as Dingodile from Crash Bandicoot and the Crocolisk from World of Warcraft.
Crocodilians first emerged in the late Permian era and belonged to the family Archosaur. Many early archosaurs closely resembled modern-day crocodiles. In the late Triassic era, archosaurs split into two lines of descent, one for crocodiles and the other for birds and dinosaurs.
The crocodile's ancestors were impressive animals. Deinosuchus was about 33 feet long and lived 70 to 80 million years ago. Sarcosuchus imperator was 40 feet long and lived 110 million years ago.
Saltwater crocodiles are a protected species in Australia. Before this occurred, saltwater crocodiles were often hunted for sport and killed out of fear, or they were farmed for their skin. According to the IUCN Red List, their conservation status is low risk. Populations are plentiful in Australia, but tend to be a little scarcer elsewhere. Saltwater crocodiles are truly one of the most amazing animals on the planet. They are indeed dangerous creatures and should be respected rather than blindly feared.